All right, welcome back to the show. Time now for our former Razorback Roundtable, as always, joined by Travis Swanson and Austin Allen. And guys, Arkansas, Texas A&M, and as we were talking about earlier, just a complete game for A&M when you really look at it. And it's a series where Arkansas has been trying to break this losing streak and can't get over the hump. What really stood out to you in that game overall last night? Austin, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I thought for me, A&M played a complete game, like you said. I thought third downs they protected well. We were in that three down front, and then we tried to bring some pressure, but they picked everything up. And Kellen Mond was accurate, got the ball out on time and to the right guy. So I think they're a really talented team, and for us, we couldn't get off the field on third down on defense, and then just trying to keep up with those with their scoring was tough. But overall, I thought our offense, we ran the ball a lot better yesterday, and um, I thought Felipe played pretty well, and it's just Texas A&M played a complete game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just to piggyback off that, I don't think that they really did anything wrong per se. They were firing on all cylinders. I think Kellen Mond knew in the back of his mind he could overtake Manziel this game, which is then kind of probably what gave him a little more juice than normal. Um, yeah, but just hats off to A&M just because they did play a really really good game. I thought the interior of their line did a good job. I know it's been a while since they've given up some sacks, so they kept that streak going. Like Austin said, Arkansas did have a good job on the ground. I think Raheem had 100 yards. The offense was clicking. It was just kind of sporadic. Traylon had two touchdowns. So, you had your bright spots, but it was at the end of the day, A&M just played really, really good.
Man, Kellen Mond's like the new Landry Jones of college football. Like he's been around for like at least 10 years, right? He just is never going to leave. But I think that shows to his experience, and you saw that experience last night, Travis.
Yeah, definitely. He's a guy that people know his name, and once you were around for a little bit and you're having the success, especially this year that he's having, then it's just going to spread like that, and your name's going to get out there more and more. So again, hats off to them because they did play really really good.
Yeah, I mean, Kellen Mond, he was a freshman, I guess my senior year whenever we played in Jerry's World. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't like to talk about the ending of that game, but
Mm-hmm.
I remember he came in and led him on a few 2 minute drives and then made a great throw in overtime in that game. So that was my first experience with him. And now I see him still out there playing. I'm like, man, this guy, like you said, just feels like he's been around for a decade. So he's just kept continuing to get better as his career's gone on. I think Jimbo has him coached up pretty well down there.
Travis, you mentioned that opening drive for Arkansas, and I think that's the most impressive drive we've seen. And Sam Pittman talked about it yesterday that they haven't really had good starts to games. It kind of taken them a while offensively. So to see the way that it started, I know that it didn't go great afterwards necessarily, but the way that they started, be able to run the ball like they were, how impressed were you with that?
Very impressed, and I think that those guys, even though the score didn't come out to be what you wanted, you can take some gems away from this.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have an opening drive like that, then you know that you can do it. You know that you have the talent to do it. You have the coaches that can put together a good, first 10, first 15, whatever they put into it for their opening plays. So that should give them confidence going into this next game against Tennessee.
Yeah, Austin, I want to get your perspective from a quarterback. Sam Pittman talked about Felipe Franks after this game. He did get sacked 4 times, and there were things that happened, some miscues, but he also talked about maybe Felipe holds on to the ball a little longer at times than he should, and maybe scared to not throw an interception. He understands that. From a quarterback perspective, what are you seeing with that?
Yeah, it's tough whenever I'm just watching the TV copy where I don't really know what's going on down the field if someone's getting held or anything like that. But I think he's doing a really good job of protecting the football. Where in the first game he had those interceptions that
Mm-hmm.
hurt us a little bit, and I think every game since that's been on the forefront of his mind. He's just trying to get the ball to the right guys and take care of the football. And I think that might play in a part of why he's holding the ball a little bit longer. Where for me, it's tough to see because you don't know what the route concept is down the field if they have a shallow cross coming underneath. But I mean, just on the TV copy, yeah, I'm watching with some people and they say, throw the ball. But, I don't want to be that guy like, oh yeah, he's got to do this. I don't want to be the armchair quarterback because I've been back there. I'm like, I was about to throw the ball, but someone's getting held and they aren't calling it. So if I was able to watch the TV copy, I would probably have a better answer. But I think it's more just him saying, hey, I'm not going to lose this game. We have a bunch of playmakers around us. Our defense is keeping us in all these games. I'm going to do my best to take care of the football and end every drive with a kick.
All right, guys, I want to end with this before we give out our game balls. Rakeem Boyd, 100 yards, the most he's had all season. It was good to see the senior get it going again there in the backfield. How happy were you to see him be kind of successful last night, Travis?
Yeah, it was really good because I know obviously he's had a little adversity last year, this year coming in, trying to get it going. New offense, obviously, new coaching staff, trying to get some things figured out chemistry-wise, not only with Felipe, but with how the offensive line blocks and all their different, nuances that go into their blocking schemes. So it's been good. I was happy for him to finally break that 100. Now, can he take that and build on it for next week and the weeks to come? That'll be the big question.
Yeah, same thing. I know he got off to a slower start than he wanted this year, and then got banged up a little bit. But he's one of our top players on the team, and if we're going to win more games, we're going to need him to continue to do that for the rest of the season. I really liked watching him play. I thought he looked back to his old 100% self, and then I also thought Traylon Burks looked better than he has all year, where he looked explosive, he looked fresh, he looked healthy, and made some big time plays. So. Yeah, hopefully those two guys continue to play at the level they're playing at, and we're going to need them to, especially with these next 5 games coming up.
All right, let's do it. Let's give out some game balls this week. Austin, who you got?
I'd probably give game ball to Rakeem Boyd. That or, I'll give it to Traylon Burks. He has been consistent every week, week in, week out. He is, that 4th and 2 play, we throw a fade. In my head, I was like, we just need 2 yards. What are we doing? And then I realized it's Traylon Burks down there, and that's a high percentage play in my mind. So he's a guy who I really enjoy watching him play. I think he cares about winning. He cares about his teammates, and everyone loves playing with him. So he gets my game ball.
Yeah, I don't know how to follow that up except with ditto, exact same. I was going to give it to Traylon just because, like you said, Austin, he's been so consistent, regardless of the ups and downs of what has kind of happened this year so far. He's that one common denominator that he's going to do his job and do it really, really well. And as time goes on and he gets more experience, he's just going to keep growing and growing as a player. So for this week, again, I'm going to give him my game ball.
Yeah, I think you guys aren't wrong about that. Thanks again for all the time. Hey, it is Tennessee week now, so we'll talk about this Tennessee game next Sunday. Guys, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Pig Trail Show rolling on after this.